Okay, so back to my story. I think it was Monday night. I had sent a message to my friend Allie. She's been currently translating everything for me, which has meant more to me than she can even imagine. And I told her that I felt like something wasn't right. Like there was something wrong with the stories that I've been told. Like I just felt like I couldn't really trust them, and there was big gaps that were missing in the story. And I thought, well, maybe due to the lack of being able to understand each other, that maybe that's where parts of the story gets lost in translation. But I just still had this gut feeling that something wasn't right. He told me also Saturday night when he came out with us that my grandmother had ended up in the hospital and she'd hurt her back, and so originally he was going to have me stay with her, but because she hurt her back, I stayed in a guest house. And I really didn't want to stay there because she can't communicate with me at all. She only speaks Korean. I only speak English. And I didn't want to intrude, plus she lives way out in Incheon, so the buses and stuff usually start ending at midnight. So if I was stuck in the city, I wouldn't be able to get out to her house unless I took a cab, which would cost a lot of money. So my friend Allie had explained to my dad that earlier, before the gathering, that it would my best interest, it would be better for all of us that if I stayed at the guest house instead of her house. But my dad told her that my grandma would be really disappointed and upset, but we had somehow talked him into letting me stay there. So he had told me that she had gotten sick, and the fact that she saw me the other day and she had so much guilt really made her fall more ill. So that made me feel like crap. I don't know if he was saying that just to make me think that they cared, or I have no idea why, but like, what an awesome way to make you feel super guilty for coming back to see them. So we'd arranged for him to come and get me on Wednesday. He mentioned something about my younger brother and sister, but it was a little unclear. But he had said that he was going to come here and get me at 11. So he came and picked me up around 11:30, and I went out to the car and I met his current wife, and then I met my younger sister and my younger brother. My younger sister shares the same name as me, and she is about 15 years old in Korean age, which translates to about, I'd say about 14 years in the US. And my little brother is 14 years in Korean age, and he is about 12 or 13 in US age. They didn't speak any English, so there was really no way of communicating with them. So we all were in the car, trying to communicate with each other the best we could. It was really hard, but we drove all the way out into Incheon, and we went to the hospital to visit my grandma. When we got to the hospital, we went to her room and she was gone. So my father asked what had happened to her, and they had said that she had gone home. Well, he had told me originally that she had been put in the hospital and would probably be there for about a month. So that seemed a little weird, but whatever. So we all got in the car and drove over to my grandma's house. And as we were pulling up, my uncle was pulling out, my dad's younger brother. He had bright red hair and tight designer style jeans and big white high tops. It just looked a little odd because I thought he was a little bit too old to wear that stuff, but whatever. So we got out and I just briefly said hi, and he just kind of said hi, and we walked up. And so then we get up to the apartment, and like my younger brother and sibling were being very formal, like the whole bowing and stuff like that. And I was excited to see my grandmother again. She said that she had left the hospital because it was really hard for her to get in and out of bed. It hurt her back quite a bit, and in Korea you usually have to share a room with other people, and there's no curtains, so you're just sitting there in a bed, sick, with other people. So I could understand why she would want to go home. I met my komo, my father's younger sister, so my aunt, and she seemed extremely cold. She just said hi, and that was it. And we were only there for a little while, and then we got up and left, and it's just weird to me that these children were bowing to my grandmother, and I went up and gave her a big hug because that's just not the way I do things. I was just really shocked how cold both my aunt and uncle kind of were towards me, because in my family, like, everyone's very warm and welcoming, so it just seems really strange. We all got back in the car, and we were talking about Lotte World, which is their version of Disneyland. You can obviously see that Lotte dominates everything here. And I really didn't understand what was going on, but then my sister was trying to explain to me that we were all going to Lotte World, so she was really excited about that. So we're driving, and then my father stopped all of a sudden on the freeway, and we got out, and they were trying to explain to me, it was my mother, my stepmother, and my two half-siblings, and they're trying to explain to me that we were going to go eat lunch, and then from there we would meet my father at Lotte World. So it seemed a little confusing, but I just thought I'd go with it. So we ended up going around, and we found a restaurant that served like a kimchi jjigae, and so we all ate out of that, but no one talked the whole entire time, so it was a little awkward. I think my sister and my brother are adorable, just really cute kids, very naive, very sweet, very innocent. I think about what I was like when I was there.